You know, gardening can be a year-round activity. And for those of you not too tired for fighting the bugs and really out fighting the heat, now is a time to plant your fall garden. And really the first thing that you should do is go by your county extension office and ask for a fact sheet called Fall Gardening, and it's number 6009. And in this fact sheet it gives you a lot of good information on what to plant and how to plant it. And we're going to give you some of those great tips now, so really pull out a pen and pencil to get some good notes. Now, as a reminder, the first thing that you really want to do is find out what you can plant, and just a few of the things that you can plant this time of year for the fall garden are such vegetables as beets, some of your cool season crops such as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, Irish potatoes, lettuce, spinach, just to name a few. So that's a good idea of what you can get out in the garden for the fall garden. Now the first thing that you need to do is determine when your first frost is going to be for the winter. And I've got a map here that's courtesy of the University of Oklahoma Climatological Survey. And with this map it shows some of the different areas in the state and when your first frost date is. Now remember, this is based on 30 years of history, and it's an average of about 50%, and for our area in the state, we're looking at around October 27th. So what you do after you've determined when your first frost-free date or first frost date is, you want to look on your packet of seeds for the days of planting to harvest. And like on these turnips here, it's 57 days, so we would count back from October 27th about 57, 60 days, and that's when we would plant. And as it would turn out, that's usually anywhere from the 1st to the middle of August, even throughout the 1st to the middle of September, depending upon what you choose. So again, it's real important to look for that information to know what you can plant. Now, of course, when putting a garden in this time of year, the biggest problems that we deal with are heat and, of course, lack of moisture. Now, I've got a soil thermometer here to show you that about 6 inches deep, the soil temperatures are 80 degrees. As the day progresses, that might get up to 90 and 100 degrees, which is really tough to get any seeds to germinate. So let me give you a few ideas on how to make that a little bit more successful. Now, the first thing you might do is try to locate those places that you can plant in the shade. We're in one of our ground beds, and behind me are some of the large hackberry trees and pine trees. And remember, those give us a little bit of shade, so we save this bed particularly for our fall garden. Also, we've got some loofah sponge gourds over there, and on the west side of those, they get a lot of shade during the morning, and even tall crops like corn, you might have some of that left, which would give you a little bit of shade. And also, Alan put up a shade cloth in one of our raised beds where we planted some of our lettuce and spinach, which are even more susceptible to the heat, and he put it on the south side of the bed where it would give us a little bit of shade over the crops during the day. So those are some good points to remember. Also, when you're getting ready to plant your seed, the night before you might put them in a moist paper towel like we've done here and soak the seeds overnight to help them get a little bit head start on germinating, and that's a real easy step that you can do. Also remember that instead of planting everything at the same time, try some successive planting. Now in one of our raised beds we've already put in some broccoli and cauliflower, and we've started some more transplants that are about 2 weeks behind, and we'll put those in before long. That way we're not harvesting everything at the same time. And that's a good thing to remember even when we plant our garden in the spring. Another nice little tip to remember is when we're planting this time of year, try to make a furrow that's a little bit deeper, and then as you plant your seed, instead of covering it with the hard soil that's going to crust up, come in with potting soil or like vermiculite and let that be the cover of your seeds, and it holds moisture a little bit better, and it's much easier for them to germinate, and then your furrow will hold water better for you as well. And we use that over in our raised bed with some of the spinach and lettuce again. Also, when you put out your transplants and some of your seeds, use some shading cloth of any kind, and we've got some old screens here that we'll lay right across the raised beds. They fit perfectly to give us some shade. Once the plants are up and it cools off a little bit, we'll remove these. Also, you can use pieces of screen and set them up like teepees, and you can cut different sizes and angles, and we've done that and put them up over our transplants that we've already put in because we planted them this morning and the heat's really getting to them and causing them to wilt. And another neat little thing, we've always got a few bricks or blocks or boards laying around. You can see underneath here the shade pattern. Set those up over your rows and give you a little bit of shade as well, and they need to be about 8 to 10 inches high. So again, we've always got some good scraps like that around that makes it nice. Now once we get the things planted, especially our transplant, they really need to be watered well and fertilized good. And it never fails. It seems like we have a little bit of fertilizer left over. Well, I'm going to show you how you can make your own starter solution. And what you do is just get a complete fertilizer, put in a couple of tablespoons to a gallon of water. Make sure that you stir that up, and it needs to be done really at least a day before. Stir it up real well, let it dissolve, because those clay particles, it takes them a while to dissolve. Then use that as your starter solution for your transplants, and it's a great way to use up some of that fertilizer. And then of course it's really, really crucial that we remember to go ahead and mulch some of the things that we put in, especially transplants. And we're going to be putting some mulch around our transplants as soon as we can get a chance to do it. But you've heard us talk a lot about cottonseed hulls. They make a nice one, as well as some of your compost should be about ready this time of year. Other things like straw, just use your imagination, shred it up, newspaper. There's just all kinds of things that you can use for mulch. And remember, the mulch will help you in moderating the soil temperatures, which are so hot. It also helps hold in moisture and keep out the weeds. So mulch is really crucial this time of year. And of course, the worst thing that is going to affect us this year are the pests are already here. Remember, we've got cucumber beetles, squash bugs, just all kinds of spider mites and aphids. And when you put in a fall garden, you have got to be out in it every day checking those plants for insects, because it doesn't take long at all for the insects to move in on that succulent growth and destroy it. So check, make sure you use all the cultural things and try to pick them off and monitor it before you use the pesticides, but you're really going to have to monitor it because this is a bad time of year. Now let me show you some of the things that we put in as well. Behind me here we've got our potatoes. We've got 2 rows of potatoes. We've saved the potatoes that we had harvested from earlier. Now it's hard to find potatoes this time of year for your seed pieces. And I want to show you a few of them here. We saved our smallest ones that really weren't big enough for us to eat, and we're not cutting them because they're not big enough really to cut for the seed pieces. So we're just planting them about 6 to 8 inches deep. We're not cutting them again, we're covering them up, and then you can see that we're putting straw on top of the mounds to make sure we hold in the moisture again. So we're going to try some fall potatoes and see how it works as far as keeping them over. Our next row over are some of our bush beans. Now the beans like the warmer temperature. They'll usually germinate this well and do pretty good. But one little tip that we want to give you is that we've actually put 2 rows here about 10 inches apart, so we'll help shade them a little bit, and that helps keep the weeds out and helps moderate the temperature again. So it's another nice little tip to give you in helping get a good stand. And one thing you need to remember on a fall garden, a lot of times it's not as productive, but it still get a little bit out and stretch that season. Now I want to show you how you can start some transplants from crops you've already got growing in your garden. A few weeks ago, you'll remember that we started getting bacterial wilt in our cucumbers. So to salvage a few of those right when we saw it was happening, we decided we'd take a few cuttings off the cucumbers, and that would also give us a crop for the fall. Well, we've took those cuttings and they're ready and rooted now, and we've planted them here by one of our cattle panels that was cut in half and put in our raised bed, and it really makes a nice trellis for the cucumbers to crawl up. And our favorite of the cucumbers this year was the burpless cucumber, the hybrid variety, and you can see it's starting to take off, and it got a little bit of scorch during the cutting stage, but it's taken off and it should do quite well, and we'll side dress it again before long, and hopefully we'll get a fall crop out of it. So it's cut off of cucumbers that are mature, so we should get a crop pretty early. And let me show you here on the end of the bed what it looked like. We just took those cuttings and placed them there in a 4-inch container, put them in a tray, and put them in the greenhouse. And you can do the same thing with tomatoes as well. And this is one of our better bush tomatoes that we have in a container that was up on our deck. And I brought it over here just to show you that you want to take cuttings of your tomatoes, either the suckers or your tip growth that looks pretty good. And this is actually one of the tips, and we're just going to take a cutting off of that. And what you'll do is you'll pull off a couple of the lower branches, and if there's any flower buds, you'll want to make sure you pinch those out, because that kind of helps get it to the point that it'll root a little better. Now you can use some of the rooting hormone here, and you would just, according to directions, and usually you just dip it in there, shake the ends off, and you would stick it in a well-drained potting soil or vermiculite mix, which we've done here. And this is some that we put in the greenhouse again under mist, and it's doing pretty well for us. And again, you want to pinch those flowers out after you get the cutting started as well. Then we'll get a fall crop of tomatoes. Also, I want you to notice too that our pumpkins are planted this year in the raised bed, and we're going to try to trellis those up a cattle panel as well.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.